800 watts.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm
so
trying
this is
to
the
catch
first
up.
hill.
There you go.
Yeah, there I go.
And you spike.
Yeah.
You spiked it, and Lowry's off the front. So you go to 1,000 watts, and I'm doing another effort. And I'm in the red, not kind of red zone, like 173, and I'm gonna pop here. I'm at 177. Like,
Yeah.
Here we go, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Crit Dad. I'm your host, Alan Pinkerton. It's no secret. It's on my Strava. Got a special guest with me today. Third place, CJ Miller. What's up, man?
Yeah, pleasure. I'm happy to and honored to be part of this video.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, I was in this race, so thought I'd share a couple thoughts.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're going to get introduced again because here come the folks who are in the breakaway at this race. We got Donovan on the left, super strong, you know him with the red shoes. Michael Lowry, surprise.
Newbie.
Massive power, unstoppable. And then guest in the studio, CJ Miller, Farmer's Kit, Bianchi. So
Not good glasses. I don't like my glasses. I've decided I'm not sure I'm happy
is that
with
that
those.
company?
It's that stupid company. The Instagram
You got sucked in, dude.
got me in, bro. Marketing is a strong thing these days.
Yeah. All right. So CJ and I had talked before this race about the breakaway. And tell me where your thoughts are heading into this race, what your plan was, and how you executed it.
Well, at first I was told by many people that you shouldn't do a breakaway on this race because of the course.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, that almost made me want to do it more. Because it seemed like because the course has a little bit of technical aspects with the two hills that a breakaway could actually like work really well.
Yeah.
And I felt like by watching last year's videos, the corners as we're seeing right now are
Garbage.
like awful.
Just
Like
garbage.
the road is hard to navigate. There's a lot of like weird bumps and weird cracks, and there's these big surges like you're seeing. You're
Bam.
doing, like
New graphics.
Yeah.
Power. Look at that. Look at all these particles.
600 watts, dude.
Yeah.
Lap one,
Holding
just
Tired.
That's match one burnt
Yeah.
and toasted. Yeah, and so like given all those factors, it seemed like a breakaway was like if you could make it efficient to go through all of these like little aspects of the course, like you could actually get a break going and hold it.
Yeah. So we had talked about when to go. So I went through my race from last year, and I looked at when the group slowed down, and I looked at what we know about Eldo and when to attack.
Right.
And we basically decided that it was going to be after the first corner, right? Because after the second corner, it's downhill, and I think a little bit of a tailwind, if I'm not.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's not the time to go.
Yeah.
Because everyone's going to be able to catch you then.
Yeah.
But after the first corner, everyone's sort of powering out of that corner to begin with, and then there is a little riser.
Exactly. And like if you watch a number of videos, like most people say like the hardest time to do a breakaway is on a descent or on a downhill.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's the least efficient way to use your power.
Right.
When you're going to go for a big surge, try to get away from something, you want to be on like a slight uphill.
You want to go
if
when
anything.
everyone else is tired.
So we're on this incline right now. This is the first little incline, and you can see you're doing 600 watts, and you're like, you have gained, so you're maybe going a little harder than everybody else, but still.
I want to move up, dude. I've been tail gunning in this race, and I'm trying to find you.
Yeah,
I'm trying to like figure out, I got to get a little bit further up in this race. Being on the left side over here, same as my earlier video on Manhattan last year. It's more open. You don't want to get boxed in on the right.
But you do have to eat wind. Like
a little bit.
You have to eat wind in order to move up
Yeah.
when the peloton's like shaped like this over to the right.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving up to the right is just like a death sentence. So you do have to do it on the left when we're all like this.
And then here, everyone's obviously slowing down.
Yeah, and so this is like the second hill, and I was like not knowing if I wanted to do the first hill or the second hill, and I know that we had discussed like going on the first hill, and that
This is a good part for cornering here, by the way. So that's Chris in the blue and purple and pink. What's up, man? And you see him in my rear view, and I just go in this corner a little bit better than everybody else, and get like 7 wheels.
Yeah, you do. You're gaining so nice. And then
there you are.
Yeah, and well, you found me with your 800 watts. We're all trying to catch up.
Donovan has got his eye on you.
He does. Donovan has me marked. We had a successful breakaway in a race a couple weeks earlier.
Right.
And so, yeah, he, I got a bright Bianchi, so easy to pick out from the pack.
There's your butt.
Yeah,
Welcome
and
to the channel.
You're nice and efficient right now.
Yeah.
This is a really good position to be in.
I
during
was
this
spinning
section.
out. So like I said, I have a 52.11, and I was spinning out, so I was like, well, I'm just going to conserve here because there's no need to keep riding into the back of people, and I don't want to be on my brake. So
yeah,
there it's just no real need to pedal.
Yeah, we're still getting settled in, and like it's such a tendency to burn matches.
What was happening at the front of the race? Because it's been 5 minutes now, and you said someone was shutting down attack.
Yeah, so we've got a guy who must have done 6 lines of cocaine before this race because this guy came out with so much energy.
The special gel, the cocaine gel.
The special gel, the one you take mid-race.
Yeah.
This guy comes out with so much energy, and it actually like spooked me out a little bit. He would be shutting down attacks and just blasting. You could see so much energy coming from this guy and just blasting down everything. But he wasn't like trying to get away or anything. He was just shutting things down. And I didn't actually see him like in a team jersey, so I was super confused on who he was working for and like what his idea was with this.
But
because if you're trying to like.
Now? I never saw
he was
him.
always at the front in if I remember correctly, but we can't see him from this angle.
Long story short, he got relegated, right?
He does get relegated, and I don't know if we'll see it in this video, but he does a very weird move, and he does the YMCA.
So judged by the director, the promoter, they thought
you're not supposed to. Yeah, he lifts his hands off the bars.
Yeah.
And it's not during obviously the last lap on the last. He didn't win the race, so you don't do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he was doing that. We're like lap 3 or 4.
Okay.
But he had shut down so many attacks already.
But there were attacks going early.
There were,
Just like
people were trying to get away.
Efforts. That's always so. That to me, in these kind of big races, it's like people's nerves. They kind of want to try and get away. And like in Cat 4, they're rarely successful. But it's a good thing that guy was shutting them down. I mean, it's easier to bring things back together.
It was, and he made me nervous because I'm going into this going, oh, I want to do a breakaway, and I'm like, well, this guy's shutting everything down. What am I gonna do if he shuts me down? But obviously he got out of the game pretty quickly.
All right. So where are you at right now?
I feel like I'm behind you.
Okay. That's your wheel right there. I see it on the left.
Yeah, I'm on the left of you.
This is not the best place to be in a corner. This is not a good corner for me. So I'm just like, ooh, yeah. And I never like to be on the outside of the middle. I always kind of want to be on the inside because all the corners push towards the outside, like you just saw, and another 700 watts to get back in the group.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was a very taxing part of the course. This
might be the preem lap.
Was there one this early?
Yeah. So I think this is the preem lap, and I'm deciding to like kind of go for it. So this is something I do. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to have it this race. At least maybe I'll just take home a preem. So I'm deciding to get up to the front, and I'm going to try to go for this preem, but I don't go full on, which is also the thing. It's like either do it or don't. I'm worried that if I do a full sprint, then I'm not going to have it for your breakaway. And this is partly hurts me because I don't catch your breakaway. So I cut up here, and I think that's Yazid in the Velo Sport. And I look at him, and I'm like, am I doing this? Am I doing this? And I see it's 150 to go, and I'm like, I should snap now. I should snap. And then on our left here, this is Maya. They get me at the line. And he was actually visiting from Chicago.
Oh, he pips you right on the line. Ugh, dirty.
He actually won this one free tune-up from Sprocket Cycles, and he reached out and he's like, dude, I don't need this. I don't live here. If you want it, and he sent it to me. So. Oh wow! So you ended up winning that, even though looks like you got 4th. I think I got 4th, and if Yazid, if you're watching and you think you got me, which I think you did, you can have it too. I'll bring it to Eldon. So. Anyway.
A tune-up.
Yeah, but Maya, they crashed at the end, so I didn't get much. I get a little bit of that, but it sounds like they're all right. So. Yeah, and
everyone's slowing down here because
this is where I talk about Sean Sweat on the left up there, and someone else goes. Someone in the black.
Yeah, there's an attack.
Oh, and that's Cat 4 racing right there, dude. Everybody looking around, waiting for somebody to go, and then the group expands. Yeah, and the field's super wide now. Yeah. We're not bunched up. Yeah, we've got like surges on the left and the right with like taxed people in the middle. Messy. messy, dude.
Cat 4 mess.
So that was the preem. So we were recovering, and then somebody countered the preem, which is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, smart.
But I guess they didn't get away.
Super smart. This guy's number is picking up so much wind.
Yeah,
I wonder how many
deal
watts he's losing.
I saw you crumpled your number.
Okay.
Is that a thing?
It is a thing.
Okay.
It's a thing to crumple the number.
Okay.
Exactly. If you're a watt weenie
get your tips here, guys. Crumple your number.
You're supposed to crumple it. It makes it more pliable, like paper, and then it's gonna pick up less drag.
I gotcha. Have you seen the magnets?
Yes, I don't do the magnet game. I don't know.
I just tear up all your jersey with the
safety
pins.
I just feel like if you're gonna race, you should just have a jersey that you race in. And
Jeez,
that was sketchy.
So should I just? Yeah, I'm trying to play safe there. I wouldn't no need to go on the inside. It's just. You're gonna lose so much time being in the back or in the middle around those corners.
Yeah, and we're only 25% into the race, so getting a couple wheels right there is like kind of fruitless.
Yeah.
So rather than hitting the deck.
Manhattan is exhausting though. The hills and the hot dog, it's a lot more effort than your typical four-corner crit. It's a different type of effort than Aldo.
Yeah, Southern California crits are just notoriously flat business parks with very little technicalness, which is not the same in different parts of the country. But Manhattan, I would say, like, at least there's something. Mm-hmm. There's the double hills, and there's both those weird corners, and so it does add a little bit of like excitement. And I think that's what makes like this race like one of the biggest of the year for everyone to come out and try to see. And it happens at the end of the season, which everyone is usually peaking.
Yep.
So everyone's in their best form.
So I see you guys. I know that we had talked about this earlier. I knew you were going to be in the breakaway. I knew Donovan's capable. You kind of talked to Donovan before the race, right? Or did you mention it at all?
He said, oh, it could be a hard... This is, again, people told me no breakaway. And he was like, oh, it's going to be a hard race for a breakaway. And I was like, well, it doesn't hurt to try.
Okay. So
that's all that I said.
You guys didn't plan it, but he knows. He knows to look out for you. And that's obviously one of the big key races in crit racing, or the key factors is to always know your opponents.
Yeah.
Know who is capable. And the more you race with each other, the more you learn. A lot of times in the Cat 4 game, though, there's these young guns nobody knows about.
That's right.
They're just coming out with 5 watts per kilo.
I know.
And that's Mr. Lowry. So and you got lucky that he joined you in that breakaway.
It's true. I did. We'll see. I don't know if we'll see it on your camera, but I actually...
Well, he goes early.
He goes a little early, but then he looks back. He's unsure. This is Lowry's first crit, which was a bruise to my ego to learn.
He's a mountain bike guy, though.
He's a mountain bike guy. He races mountain bikes.
18, I think.
18 or 19.
It says 19 on the thing, but that could be race age.
Yeah.
He's 18.
Yeah.
144 pounds.
Something like
that. He told me that. He didn't say something like, he said 144. That's like an exact
he knew.
number.
Oh, yeah. He weighed in.
So I think he's actually going soon, because I looked at your guys' power on Strava, and his heart rate and his effort starts a minute before your guys. So that shows that he was off for a minute.
Interesting. Okay.
And I looked at your power, and I looked at Donovan's power, and I looked at Lowry's power. Donovan just got a power meter, so I don't know if his power is accurate, because it's a little lower than your guys. But you guys are in the 4.3-ish, 4.2 watts per kilo range
that lines
to
up.
Hold a breakaway.
Yeah, that lines up with my training.
Okay, and I'm not there. I'm a 3.7 watts per kilo FTP. I can hold that level for 10 minutes, 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And,
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
This is so sketch.
Both those guys were in the drops, and I talk about that on my other video about safety and racing. So thank God, and they held. Nobody dodged. They just held and they bumped, and so.
Wow, that was so.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Cat 4.
Yeah,
gotta love it.
Yeah,
we gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
And then no one hit the deck. So,
no, dude, that
it all. But we were going 35 miles an hour.
Yeah,
I think, right there.
That sketched me out. I got a little nervous after that.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys go here. Trust me, it's after this corner.
Okay.
So you're in position now. Are you thinking like I'm gonna go? Are you looking at your clock?
I'm looking at my clock and going, okay, now or next lap, we're ready to go. And I am eating wind already, so I'm like, okay, I should probably move up since I'm already doing inefficient.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just like not waste a match trying to just get some wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew it was going to be a big effort to get away from a field this size. God, I'm eating so much wind. but that's how you got to move up.
This is a new stand here, I think. And Donovan's already
Donovan
following.
sees it.
And I'm doing 800 watts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I'm
so
trying
this is
to
the first
catch up.
hill.
There you go.
Yeah, there I go.
And you spike.
Yeah.
You spiked it, and Lowry's off the front. So you go to 1,000 watts, and I'm doing another effort. And I'm in the red, not kind of red zone, like 173. And we had done like a 60-mile, 3.5 hour ride the day before. And for me, that was a lot. For you, that's just training. And I'm going to pop here. I'm at 177. Like,
Yeah.
I and then
Yeah.
I just, and look behind me.
Yeah, nobody. So this was like
instant rubber band snap.
Well, so what it is what the kind of the smart thing about this the smart thing about the timing of that is that usually people were using this descent as a relief from the first hill, and I drilled it on the descent as well as the up,
which you do.
And so that's
what it takes.
It's what it takes to get that extra effort. You want
so bad right now.
You want. I know you were so close to that wheel though.
Just want to stop the video.
You were really close to the wheel, but yeah, right now this is place to the breakaway. This is demoralizing. This hurts. It's hard to see it.
All right, so these guys go through. They have a little bit of motivation to try and catch.
Yeah,
or a lot. I mean, they're the ones chasing. They're the ones at the front of the peloton. They're trying to chase. So good for them.
God, we are so gone.
And you guys are just gone. It never comes back. And at this point, individual riders take their shot. I think Sean Green there, he takes a shot. Justin Moreno takes a shot, and it's just not enough. You guys are just gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
And were you holding like 27, or how were you doing your pulls? Were you guys like?
It wasn't a timing.
Were you directing it?
I wasn't.
You started it.
I did start it. Like I said, I passed Lowry, and I said, "Let's go." And we go, and I know in order to sort of in a breakaway, you want to prove that you're in it to win it with everybody. You're in it to work it. So you usually do like a good 40-second pull at first, even up to a minute, and then usually everybody's going to kind of match that.
Okay.
You sort of set the pace and set the time, and that's what was happening. We were doing like 30 to 40-second pulls, and then everything was pretty equal.
Yeah.
But all pulls are not equal in the sense that when the course is not flat, like this one is not, if your pull is on the uphill, you're going to be working harder than if your pull is on the downhill.
Yeah.
And that's something that is its own art form in learning in the break, is when to do it and when not, and strategizing behind that. So to conserve.
So if we look at like the first, and I might put this stuff in there, the first 7 minutes, you're doing 4.7 watts per kilo, 361 watts, almost 400 watts normalized power for 6 minutes.
Yeah, it was a big effort. I definitely set a PR on here for my first 5 minutes of the breakaway.
Look how strung out it is. Look at everyone trying to attack. So if the chase group in Cat 4 had any luck of getting organized to then start another breakaway, we possibly could have done something. But every individual is just boom, 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 like they're just going.
And it's a numbers game. So there's 3 of us in the break. So the chase group, you need 4.
Yeah.
Or 5 or 6. You can't have 3.
And the way it is now, you got one guy up there. There's Sean's effort.
Yeah.
And there's someone up there that he's trying to chase that tried to do an effort. So everyone's just doing individual efforts.
Exactly. And I think like in the 4s, it's like there's no teams. Everyone's individual. Or if there's a team, there's 1 or 2 guys. But someone should have came up and said, yo, we got to work together. Yo, let's get 5 of us.
Crit dad.
Crit dad. Yeah, this was your move, Alan.
Yeah.
This was.
Well, I was wasted.
After 700 watt corners. Yeah. So you got to get 5 or 6 guys on the front and go, yo, let's just tow the field and do turns and really drill this thing. And right here, it's like no one's single file around the line, and that's again is playing to the breakaway. This is not an efficient way to take the corners.
No, and I think everyone who was motivated burned all their matches, and then we can see you here. We can see you, we can see you at a stop sign or something. It's like there, and I was counting.
Oh my gosh!
I saw you cross the stop sign, and I would count till we got to that sign, and every lap was 20 seconds. It was, and then it started to get bigger.
Yeah, it did. It got pretty big.
And I'm still like, I can do this.
You're eating so much wind here.
I can go.
Yeah.
And so
it's a valiant effort.
Yeah. And I ended up, there's Justin's attack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Moreno.
That's a big attack.
That's a big boy, dude. He's trying to bridge. He's not trying to bring anyone with him.
He is. He sees the threat.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I gotta go too.
Good. Yeah, this is quite an effort.
There's plenty of motivation in the field, and there becomes a point in this race where it stops being like this. Okay. So like we are like keeping you at the same number. Like I just said, I'm counting from that stop sign. The group is at least maintaining like a higher average, but there becomes a point, and I think it's after about 2 of these laps where it deflates. The whole group just falls down to like 23 miles an hour. And then I end up off the front, and I'm like, well, I have to keep it like up because we're not going to do anything. But even then, it's just too late.
Yeah, and again, he kind of went on again when I said attacking or trying to bridge the gap on a descent, which is what happened right there, is not the best use of energy.
You guys are kind of doing the same miles per hour anyway. Like you guys, I mean, he did like 37. You guys are doing 34.
Yeah, so it's like you're going to waste all these watts on a descent. This is where he should try to go.
Yeah.
Try to do it on the uphill.
Yeah.
Because you'll gain more time.
Yeah.
And it's all about time when you're trying to bridge that gap. But I get it, when you're on a descent, you feel like you're going fast, which you are, but everybody's going fast.
Yeah.
And so it's not the time. But that was still a really strong attack.
And those kind of attacks get the group motivated. So if you have enough people attacking like that, then there is a possibility. But again, it's Cat 4. Not a lot of people are going to do those attacks. And at the end of the day, it's just so unorganized that it's not coming back together. It's still surgy. It's still doing this like shrink and grow thing where you guys are more consistent.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm also looking at your heart rate right now, and like you were at 169 just a minute ago, and like that's like almost redlining. I don't know what your max BPM is.
It's in the 180s.
Okay.
Like living in the 170s hurts.
Yeah, and you're right there, and we still have 18 minutes left.
Right. No, it's a hard race.
So yeah, it's like to find that extra surge at this point in the race to try to bridge a gap is going to be really difficult.
So are you directing the group? Are you saying like 20-second pulls? Are you talking to them?
I'm not telling them the pulls. I was telling them good lines to stay and not teeter around. Don't go left to right and hit good lines on the corners. I was just telling them, just make sure we hit the best lines as possible. But the flow of the timing of the pulls went kind of naturally.
Okay.
There wasn't.
Everyone was pulling their own weight.
Everyone was pulling their own weight. And
we don't have footage because you didn't videotape it.
I know.
Next week we also get into breakaways, and you do have your footage. So we might do another one then.
Yeah.
See what it looks like.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. And you're gonna hear a lot of grunting and sweating. Oh, you're doing a big effort here.
So I recovered, and I decided it's time to go again.
700 watts.
Let's go, everybody. And
God, you're spinning too. You're at 110 RPMs. You're spinning so hard.
It's every time there's a breakaway, man. I didn't have the fitness today, but I was like, we have to go. Like that's when the group lulled so much, where I was like, it needs to happen again. And Carter comes through. Shout out Carter coming to Eldo. He pulls me around for a little bit. Thanks, man.
Strong. Yeah. Super strong. You guys are in really good form.
And I don't know. What there's nothing. I mean, are we going to start rotating? Because I'm already dead, you know.
He should have.
And then here comes the group.
Okay.
But it is about to get. It's like let's go, you know.
Yeah. Still. But that guy's not towing anybody. It's too much individualism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cat 4, maybe.
Cat 4. There's another surge. Let's see.
I don't know if they're yelling at me or what.
Ooh, you got.
That's a tight one there.
Yeah, you're getting caught up a little bit. We'll see if 431 right here has got a crumpled letter.
Yeah.
By the way,
he's probably faster than everybody else.
He's not losing watts to a letter, to his numbers. Yeah. No, he's not. Now you're tail gunning, man. I think that you kind of given up at this point.
Because I gave up. I put in a huge effort, and now I have to recover.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find the biggest, largest draft I can find.
Yeah.
So.
And there's 12 minutes left in the race. There's no closing at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, I do this. I'm pretty comfortable all the way in the back because there's, to me, a ton of draft and I can catch up and it doesn't bother me. So
I mean, you're climbing this hill under 300 watts. It's super great, as opposed to like in the front you have
the
to do
middle.
5 to 6.
To me, the middle's crap. The back I can at least anticipate as the surge starts to bunch up in the corners. The middle is, to me, like, I don't like the middle at all. So
I do better in the middle, and I'm horrible in the back.
Yeah, but if I'm in the middle, I want to be in like the top middle.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like, at least like try to be in the top like 20. Top. I don't know. We don't know what we're talking about.
We are in Cat 4 still. We do not know what we're talking about.
Just take this all for what it's worth.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
This was always open because everyone's slow in the group and everyone's kind of like, oh, we're getting bunched up. So if you just move over to the left, even though I'm putting in watts and eating wind, I just wanted to move up. It was just easier for me to move up over here. So that's the other thing. I saw people's comments being like, oh man, I missed the break. Never sticks in Cat 4. Oh, I can't believe it. No, I never thought they were going to make it all the way to the end.
Yeah.
So people just assume that the group's going to get him back. And then you can't really assume that. And then like...
Yeah, well, we got the right mix of people, and if the break commits and it does have the power, I knew right away when I was going into it that I was going to be going all out for at least 20 minutes.
We know that about you. And so, yeah.
And
not everybody knows you, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, they do now.
They do. I mean, and it was a really hard effort. I set a couple PRs and I almost threw up.
Yeah.
My body.
Well, you took like 40 supplements. Let's go through your stack, bro.
You take a
lot of
I take a lot of supplements. They're all legal.
How many gels?
Everyone can buy these things.
How many lines, dude?
You just go to the feed.com and just select all.
We're not sponsored by the feed.
We are not. But just select all, add to cart, and then you'll have my supplement list.
Yeah.
Ketones and sport legs.
You got me on all this stuff.
Beta alanine. You're only gonna, like I was telling you, you're only like maximum gonna see maybe a 5% performance increase with all of this stuff, and everybody's gonna react differently.
Or it's placebo.
Or there's a placebo effect, which is strong. It's not, oh my God, I just got 30 watts because I drank this ketone and it's expensive, and that's how you know it's good.
But that's what they do on NorCal. They drink those ketones, dude.
They do drink them. And I watch NorCal. And
we got to be better than that. You got to come up with something else.
Oh, yeah. All right. But if they do want to sponsor, I will start taking that stuff on video, no problem.
All right.
Nonetheless, yeah.
And nonetheless, you guys are...
We are drilling it right now.
At what point, we're at 32 minutes, at what point are you guys like, we're fine? Do you ever let up? Because I was looking at like...
We only let up on the last lap.
Michael's an athlete. His heart rate is dropping while you're in a breakaway, which is awesome.
Yeah, what it must be to be 19 years old again. Cyclists like to make excuses, and that's the age is the first one I put to.
You do 4.2 watts because 360 normalized. Your heart's going down a little bit too. You guys kind of lag right here in the race. I think you guys do slow down here.
Yeah, we knew when it was, I think 2 or 3 to go, which I think is where we're at. We had it. There was no way something was going to happen, because if it was, it would already have happened. Mm-hmm. And one fan, and I will not forget, one fan's like, "They're not going to catch you. You have it." And I was like, all right, yeah, cool.
Yeah. I
believe him, because, there was obviously no chase. Yeah. There was nothing going to happen. And there is no chase. No. It's all back to the group.
Yeah. We are in 1 to go land, 2 to go land. Let's see. I'm in the front of the... What should I be doing here, CJ? Should I just stop my bike and just
call an Uber?
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the front of the pack still.
Yeah, and you weren't doing high watts.
It's like...
it's pretty good. You're in pretty good position. I mean, this is where in the higher categories, this is where you want to be on last lap.
Right, so in Cat 4, you can gain wheels at the end. In the upper categories, you better be in the train when it starts to go.
Yeah.
From what we've seen in racing, since we're not Cat 3 or above, you cannot make wheels up in the last 6 minutes.
They are going to, exactly, because everyone's actually going to be doing a 6-minute effort and then a sprint at the end of it. Yeah, so it's not a relax into a sprint.
But yeah, so I'm kind of want to be in that place. And the last Eldo I did, I was in the front three, and it was stretched out, and the group never really caught up, and we were gotten to like the 1,000 meters to go, and then people started going, and I was like, well, I'm happy that I'm third wheel, so I don't have to work from the behind, you know. So I'm thinking I'll just stay up here, and we'll see how it pans out. But we will see how it pans out, because people all the way in the back come forward and get in the sprint effort, and they take the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th exact, you know. So being in the front didn't really matter for this race at this point, but
it was a good line around the turn.
I think, again, and this, if you guys watch the Prix video that I did at Barry Wolf, mentally, I'm never out of the game, even though the game is over. I still think maybe, like, let's keep pedaling. Let's try to do something. We don't have a gap, man. So it's like...
No, and yeah, now you're in no man's land.
And then it's sort of like, here, the race is over. We got 1 to go. It's going to be bell lap.
Oh, you're in no man's land.
And it's like, I'm just putting in a lot of effort. I think if I really cared about the final, I would have been conserving here. So I was out of it for the final at this point.
Yeah, and you can see like your watts go up, and what you can't tell from the video is that this actually slopes up. This is like a 2% grade, and so it actually does eat a lot into.
Yeah, and I think the Go Fast rider, he was like, "Do we have 1 to go?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." And like, I think we'd all be sprinting if this was the final, because. But I told him, like, no, the race is over, dude. And he's like, no, we got 1 to go. I'm like, no, theoretically, the race is done. Like, the breakaway is done. Like, the race is over. Like, I just want to go home safely at this point, you know? So.
That guy almost came into you.
Yeah, a lot of hold your line, because there was a crash last corner.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull up the video of you guys crossing the finish line, and we can talk about that. But, because you guys are starting your sprint now or something, right?
We are probably rounding corner 2.
And we're all starting our effort here, apparently. Somebody is, which is...
Yeah, so we were already playing games. We played games for most of the last lap.
And Donovan wanted to take it, or Donovan wanted to roll across the line as a team?
Donovan wanted to do...
He's a great guy.
He's such a good guy. I really will give it to him. He wanted to line it up, and I was like, no, I'd rather lose. That's not what I said, but I said, no.
I'm impressed by his character.
I said, no, I want it. And he was he just went like, all right.
You know? Okay, we're going to have a sprint, UCJ.
Yeah, and then like, we all go, and of course I have the weakest sprint. So I just totally shot myself in the foot.
I'm at 180, and we got half a lap. Do not do what I'm doing if you guys really want a sprint finish. Oh my God, bro. What's crazy is I still have it compared to last year. I basically repeated the same thing I did last year, where I blew up on this hill and then didn't have it. But, you know, Crit Dad's been working out, been doing that fitness.
Yeah.
Missed the breakaway. But anyway, this is the last part of Manhattan Beach Grand Prix. It's going to be a full-on effort. If you're at this point in the corner, you should be up there.
Yeah, I don't like this position.
You don't be here where I'm at.
I don't like it.
I get boxed in, so everyone starts to go.
Yep.
I picked the right side, which is not the best place to be.
Yep.
And I start to slow down, which I hate. I'm like, okay. And the lead out train starts on the left side on the inside of the course. And it seems like all the lead out trains happened on the inside of the course.
Correct. Yeah, that's the most efficient line. Again, the course seems like it's super simple, but lines matter.
Yeah, and so I know that I have no chance here. The left side, so that's the lead out. I can't get on Michael's wheel. Go Fast rider. I'm not fighting Go Fast for it. It's not worth it. I pass everybody instead, eating wind, and then...
Oh, you almost get a lucky...
I know, but I start my effort really early, and I'm like, am I going to go now? I'm like, where's the signs? I'm like, what? Where are we?
Yeah.
So I didn't even know where we're at, and then I'm like, oh, now we're at 150. I'm like, I don't have it. I'm at 182. Everyone else goes, so that's it. That was sketchy.
That was really sketchy.
Yeah, you got to hold your line, guys.
Hashtag Cat 4.
Not worth it. Just get sprint right here. So
yeah, it's all over.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's the end of the race.
Yeah.
Finished better than last year. I did 23rd, and obviously I went for that preem and blew up and stayed on the front. Better race for myself. So CJ, third place.
Yeah, I got third, weakest of the sprint, and I put down like 1,000 watts for 12 seconds, but it wasn't enough, which is actually like a good sprint for me.
Yeah.
I'm not a sprinter.
But Lowry, I think
Lowry put down more, and
1,200 for 15 seconds.
he was 1,200 for 15 seconds, and he went earlier than me.
Yeah.
So he was smart. I tried to get on his wheel, and I couldn't grab it. But he did really well. All in all, though, you also stayed up on 2 wheels, and coming out to any race, that is what's important. It is important, especially when we're crit racing in our 40s.
Old, so. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, people fight for that lead out train, and it's not necessary. Just stay safe. And I think once I knew I didn't have it, I just wanted to stay on that yellow line. When you're decelerating at the final, just don't move.
Yeah.
Just don't move. Just hold your line. And here, I think you come up, and I'm crying. Feel bad about myself, and that's why you're here. Is that I wanted something to talk about besides my disappointment in missing the break, and I wanted to educate the viewers on what it takes to be in a breakaway. We'll probably cut all this anyway, but we can keep talking. So.
Yeah, and I think always learning, right? I reached out to you for a lot of education on this race. I watched your video as part of my own research for this race. And so each year and each race, we kind of can get better, especially
we only
as
get
Cat
to do
4.
these once a year, which is always wild.
Yeah.
So it's like
every race is your experience, and it adds all to your learning curve. And the more you do it, the better it's going to be. And you can only get so much from watching YouTube, but
you can learn everything from watching Crit. Everything.
Maybe. almost everything. That's right. Yeah, I'll sign up for that. All right. Crit Dad subscription service.
Like, subscribe. See you guys at the next one. Thanks, CJ.
Yeah, pleasure.